Hello everyone. So we are here today to talk about loud quitting. So I don't know if all of you know her, but Lisa Congdon is a very famous illustrator. She's fabulous, she's inspiring. A lot of people follow her, and she has had a podcast for the last at least couple of years. I think she said she was around episode 40, and today I got an email in my inbox where she announced she was doing her very last episode, and it was on the subject of loud quitting. And this really got me thinking, because at the same time I've been having a lot of comments on my most recent episode about the changes in Redbubble, that so many of you are just quitting Redbubble. I know a lot of people who are on Spoonflower, which is also a print-on-demand site that does fabric, are quitting design challenges because of all of the AI problems, the artificial intelligence problems. People are feeling very discouraged in terms of Redbubble and Society 6. The new fees that are being imposed make it so that people are making hardly any money, and people are loud quitting print on demand. Now, Lisa Congdon is not talking about print on demand in her podcast episode. She's talking about loud quitting other things in her life. And when I say loud quitting, she defines it, in contrast to quiet quitting, where you're sort of doing something under the radar, where you're kind of making a big announcement of it. And she's quitting things that don't serve her and giving herself more space, including her podcast, including, she says, I think, coffees with friends she doesn't know, and even alcohol. But we're here today to talk about loud quitting print on demand. I know so many of you are doing it, and there's a big part of me that feels like I totally want to join you. I feel like a lot of the exploitation that's happening on print on demand is just not something I want to stand for. And yet I feel like all of the hours that I spent uploading things, I don't want it to go to waste, in the off chance that I might make that $1 or $2, which really sounds ridiculous. But especially after having spent almost a year of this YouTube channel focusing so heavily on print on demand, it feels a lot to make that decision. And I really think, folks, that I'm not prepared to really make that decision yet, but I'm definitely not focusing that much on print on demand. I'm spending much more time on my fine art. This past weekend, I went to Rochester, New York, where I had a piece in my favorite childhood museum. It was so much fun, and because I'm from around here, I had a whole entourage of people come with me. It was a really great time and got me super stoked. Some of the other pieces I saw gave me tons of inspiration for things I want to do and directions I want to take my art, and I will be sure to share those with you here on this channel. So while I am not necessarily quitting nor loud quitting print on demand, I do think I am going to try to spend more time on this channel talking a bit about fine art and other kind of art paths you can do that aren't print on demand. So for those of you who are just quitting, getting out of print on demand, I want you to feel like you still have a home here, that there'll still be inspiration for you here, because there are a lot of topics in art and having an art career that have nothing to do with print on demand. That said, when I do my other fine art topics, I know I tend to have, the 50 or 60 people view it, maybe 100 people. Whereas when I do my print on demand episodes, I tend to get, hundreds, if not thousands of views. So again, it's really hard when you are getting, I guess, quote unquote, rewarded for something, or you feel like you've put a lot of effort into something and you have traction in it, to quit. But we all need to do a deep assessment on the things we're doing and whether they're adding to our life or taking away from them. For me, this channel definitely adds to my life. It helps me stay accountable. It makes me feel like I have a community. My fine art definitely adds to my life. I get to have wonderful conversations about topics I'm interested when I show my pieces and then get to speak with people about them. Print on demand has occasionally enriched my life, not as much from the money, although the checks are always nice, but more for being able to share my experience with people like you. If you are interested in things that I am, I guess you could say, quote unquote, loud quitting, I did do an episode at the beginning of the year talking about things I wasn't going to do in 2023. For me, print on demand, though, was not on that list, but there are a whole bunch of other things that were. So go check out that episode if you're interested. Anyway, I'll have a link to Lisa Condon's podcast episode in the show notes. Even though she's done with it, there are 40 wonderful episodes that I encourage you to check out. Thanks again for joining me. And until next time, keep creating.